up on Who's the Boss and into beautiful and talented star of Charmed, and she gushes about the enduring love of her life in her new book, Safe at Home. Please welcome Alyssa Milano.
We are so glad you're here.
You're beautiful.
How are you?
She's beautiful. She played Audrey Hepburn.
No.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Well, you should.
I think that was Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Well, you look just as pretty as Audrey
Thank
Hepburn.
you. Sorry. Thank you. So when I was, just one thing, when I was a little girl, I watched your one-woman show over and over and over, and it actually inspired me to want to be a better actress. You know, a little girl. What year was it? I'm trying to figure out.
1980s.
Yes, I was a teenager. I was a teenager.
No, you were a little kid. I remember the first time I met you. I was on your set with Tony.
Who's the Boss?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And but you started that when you were 10. I feel like I saw every single episode.
Really?
I just loved it. I loved you on there. I just did. I wanted to be there. You were just
Look at those bangs.
I love the bangs. But that was, how did that all happen? Because you were 10 actually, right?
I was 10 when we shot the pilot, 11 the first year, and it was one of those crazy things. I went in for an audition in New York for a TV show called You're the Boss. It wasn't Who's the Boss yet. And the next day they said to me, we would like for you to fly into Los Angeles to audition with Tony Danza, who to me was the cute guy from Taxi.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I knew him from. And I tested, which is, you know, a term they use for auditioning in front of the network, which is a very intimidating process.
Oh, it's awful.
And it was awful. And I was 10 years old, and I found out I got the part right there and then.
Yeah.
And so for the first year of the season, the series, I actually moved to Los Angeles with my dad because my mom...
She had to stay behind with your brother.
She stayed behind with my brother because she was like, why would we move to L.A. when we don't know if this show is actually going to go?
Wow. Well, that's smart. That's true.
It was very
She
smart.
had a successful business too. She was a designer.
She was a
right?
designer at the time, and it was really about, like, you know, are they going to basically give up everything that they've worked for this
show that you don't know?
And right.
But you know, when you came out here with your dad, you guys weren't especially close, and you said that, you know, you would go to baseball games all the time, and that's how you bonded. Is that what happened?
Well, I remember being in Los Angeles in this small little one-bedroom apartment in Studio City, and I missed my mom and my brother so much, and I remembered hearing the baseball game in the other room, and my dad was watching the Dodgers. And I walked into the other room, and suddenly I felt like, you know, I was back in this place that I knew that was familiar to me because baseball was always such a big part of our household.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was just reminiscent of being home with my mom, and that's sort of how my love began. I mean, I didn't get obsessed until I was in my 20s.
But I'm going to read a quote from your book, which is about baseball. She says, other women dream of papaya facials and mango pedicures. Give me a hot dog, a pitcher's duel, and a late-inning suicide squeeze, and I melt like hot pine tar.
I love suicide squeezes. What is that? I think many women could relate. I might have been a little verbose in that part. Yes.
What, for folks who, because you're a diehard baseball fan, for people who don't necessarily watch, what is it about baseball?
Oh, I think it's so many things. I mean, for me, it's such a generational gift that grandfathers and fathers pass down to their children. And the history is so rich, you know, with Jackie Robinson and Roberto Clemente. There are all these heroes that really did outstanding things, regardless of the time we're in right now with baseball. But also, I feel like going to a baseball game is the only sense of community that we have left. We're in such a time where as little human contact as possible is preferable. You know, if we have a way to talk to like a machine and push a button rather than actually talk to a human being, we do it. And I feel like for me, you know, I've had Dodgers season tickets for 6 years, and I watched the girl 4 rows in front of me go to college. I called the couple in front of me my aunt and uncle. You know, and it's just the sense of community that I don't know where else you get.
But are you worried about the steroid scandal destroying all of that?
I think that we're in a tough time, but baseball has overcome lots of scandals. And the baseball players have always looked for an edge. And I think because we're in such a sort of pharmaceutical generation. I think it's very it's running parallel to where we are socially, you know. And 2 more hits a week is millions more.
It is.
So I don't
blame them. It makes a difference contractually, for
I don't blame the players for doing it. I don't condone it, but I can see how it is attractive.
There's temptation there, and I think we need to overcome that. What about, do you think your love of the game is what drew you to? Because you were with 3 baseball players romantically, and you talk about it in the book.
Right?
Carl Pavano, Barry Zito, and Brad Penny.
Cute girl.
All pitchers. Is it no shortstops, no catchers?
Who are the pitchers?
I don't know. It just happened that way. It was never a thing. I think it's about like being up on the mound or something. I don't know. But I think, you know, I've gotten so much.
But you're engaged. You're not engaged. She's engaged.
It's like hot pine tar.
You're not engaged to a baseball player, are you?
No, but he's very upset that I keep saying he's not an athlete. Because he is an athlete, but he just doesn't do it for a living.
Alyssa, we're so glad you came.
Thank you so much.
Everyone in the audience is going home with a copy of her book. Safe at Home.